on 30th November 2021, Professor Mutahi tweeted, and I quote, "Democracy is not in the voting. Democracy is in the counting. If counting is done using state infrastructure, who will win?" End of quote. And before I bring you up to speed on the three main professors to whom seemed to be the main saboteurs of Raila Odinga's presidency, if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you've been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button. And more so, if you're watching me from a different platform, either Telegram, TikTok, or Facebook, kindly please just head on to YouTube, search for Mohamed Isudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up. If matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of concerns, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on your notification panel. And by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content. And top of the list of the professors to whom consistently kept on cheating the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is none other than Professor Mutahi. And from that tweet, what does it mean? Number one, that tweet was done to insinuate stealing of votes for the Right Honorable simply because by then the entire deep state was fully behind the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. So in whichever way, even if the entire country would have voted for Ruto, then the deep state would have decided contrary to what the voters would have decided. And number two, the Hustler Nation had pushed the entire deep state to the corner, and the only option that had been remaining is for them to rig the election. And from this tweet, you can learn that Professor Mutahi was trying to prepare Kenyans psychologically for a Raila presidency by force, forgetting that sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya. Another professor to whom kept on prophesizing contrary to the reality is none other than Professor Herman Manyora. I remember sometimes he going live on air lying to the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga that all the undecided votes will vote for Raila, of which the word undecided itself, it simply means that these are people to whom had not decided where they will cast their votes. Have a look.
I'm seeing a poll here. It's been a week of polls. We have two polls from Infotrack done in Nairobi. Says Ruto has dropped by 8% in Nairobi. IRS Intel Research Solutions says Ruto is at 51% countrywide. But let's talk about Nairobi. They're blaming it on the Wajakoya factor. Raila is at 49% in Nairobi. Talk to me about Raila first. Is 49 a good number in Nairobi for him? 49%.
But I have not looked at it, but I think it has a huge margin of undecided voters.
Because Raila is at 49, Ruto is at 38.
Is that Nairobi?
That is Nairobi.
Oh, it's not about the whole country?
That is Nairobi. Oh. Is Nairobi 49% a good number? This is for Infotrack.
I think so. Because there are so many undecided voters who are more likely to come to Raila's side than the other side.
But you always say Nairobi is Raila's. Why are people undecided for Raila this time around?
You know, people could still be, also an opinion poll that creates a huge percentage of undecided. We'll always explain why. I haven't looked at why.
Okay. So this time around, you think Raila
I am not sure why you'd have more than 20% undecided.
Because for them, it's Wajakoya. The Wajakoya factor
no,
is
but
eating into.
I saw Wajakoya only had 5%.
Yeah.
Which is huge. 5% is huge. But it's not enough to give Ruto 20-something and Raila 49. They should be a little higher, both of them.
How about the national one, right? Ruto at 51 for Intel Research Solutions. What do you think about it? Raila also at 42% for them, saying that, again, Wajakoya is eating into Ruto's number.
So, in other words, if he didn't eat, Ruto will be at higher than 51.
Yes.
The Kenya I live in, Ruto cannot even get to 48.
What is your pulse in the country currently?
My
What is the
pulse gives Raila a lead currently of about 52-53%. 52 there percent.
The pulse.
Yeah, it tells me. That's what it tells me. And I'm never wrong. But Manyana, you have never predicted anything like.
And last but not least, this list would be meaningless if at all the name of this one and only professor will not appear in it, and it is none other than Professor Makau Mutua. Sources indicate that he is among the main saboteurs of Raila's presidency simply because it is believed that he is among the people to whom closely convinced the Right Honorable that Martha Karua was the best and fit candidate for the deputy president position other than Kalonzo Musyoka. And that really messed up Raila Odinga. And funny enough, Saitabao Lekanchori, the Azimio's chief agent, went live on air admitting it publicly that indeed Professor Makau Mutua is among the main saboteurs of Raila's presidency.
We could not have lost this election if it wasn't for three people. Three. The first one is Junet Mohammed. The second one is Joe Musheru. And the third one is Professor Makau Mutua. Then, of course, we had this pleasant man called Makau Mutua, Professor Makau Mutua, an exceptionally likable man, an exceptionally affable chap. You know, you would never want to hang out with a better guy, you know, with anybody else. I think if I was having a drink, I would never want to have a drink with anybody other than Professor Makau Mutua. A likable guy, you'll never quarrel with him. But the day that Musheru, Junet, and others came and said that Makau Mutua will be in charge of the command center, is the day that everything went south. Because Professor Makau Mutua, I have described him in my book, by the way, Ken. I've told you I will not tell you everything. I will only give you the tip of the iceberg. If you want the rest of the iceberg, you have to read my book. I have described Professor Makau Mutua in my book as as a deaf, mute, blind mouse. Yeah, that sees no evil, hears no evil, says no evil. And that's the kind of guy he is. Everything that went wrong, he kept brushing it aside.
Essentially, I don't think if I have to add anything on that, but that has just been my opinion. If you have a contrary opinion to mine, kindly please just feel free to drop it in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And as I end this, kindly please don't forget to comment, like, share, and most importantly, kindly please just consider hitting on the subscribe button. Thank you, and may God bless you.